Entschuldigung.
Hello, it's me, Itzanowski, and I'm back to do what I love doing, which is talk. I love talking. And I actually have a new camera, so this is my second attempt. And just because people asked, no, I did not buy this microphone just for YouTube videos. This is actually the mic that we use for vocal recordings for all of our bands. So yeah, just FYI. Yeah, but today we are going to talk about the topic of separating the art from the artist and who actually benefits from this. The question is it you, the enjoyer of music or art, that can just, block out all of the scandals and accusations and wrongdoings of an artist and, just keep on continuing to enjoy the art? Or is it the artist who, does not really get held accountable for their actions? Today it seems like artists get into scandals all the time, and sometimes it's a tone-deaf tweet from 15 years ago or something. Sometimes it's an artist hiring a hitman to kill their wife, and very often it's sexual assault allegations. And right off the bat, I am just a person on the internet. As always, I cannot tell you what to do, so you don't have to cry cancel culture and whatever in the comments. Just don't do what I say. Quite easy. And everything, of course, when it comes to art and supporting something, enjoying something, this is a personal decision. But as always, also personal decisions can be criticized by others. But let's get into it. Oh, and what I also wanted to say is that I will be mainly discussing musicians and bands. Of course, separating the art from the artists also relates to other things like paintings. Let's focus on music. So maybe you have already experienced something like this. There is a band, an artist, and their music helped you through really tough times. And there are so many memories maybe attached to some of their songs. And you just really love to listen to their music, looking forward to their next album, going to shows. And suddenly there is something coming out that you don't really like. So there's some scandal, there are accusations from people. It turns out that artist did something wrong and you didn't really know about it until then, or you just discover a new artist and you're like, yeah, I really love this music. And then, once you learn a little bit more about the artist, you see that, they might not really be a person that you would like to support, actually. And I do have some personal experiences regarding this topic. So as a teen, I was a die-hard Marilyn Manson fan. Like, I went to my first Manson show, I think, at the age of 15. And, I knew the lyrics to all of the songs, although, I have to say, I probably didn't really understand all of them at that age. And, because English is not my first language. I had posters in my room and, looking back, it maybe was a little bit worrying. But, teenagers, right? So I was a really big fan. And, over the years, I started to listen to the music less and less, discovered other artists, but still I went to some shows, or when they played at festivals, I would go there and watch the set. At some point, a couple of years ago, there were a lot of allegations and accusations from multiple women regarding, sexual assault. I will not go into detail about all of these accusations and if they're wrong or right. So you can read about all of this on the internet. But I always choose to believe victims. And, if I think about it this way, like if this was a person in my real life and I heard all of these things about them, and I believe them that they are true, this would not be a person that I would want to support or be friends with or anything. So, does this make their music bad suddenly? No, I cannot sit here and be like, I didn't like the music anymore anyway, so I didn't care. That was not the case. The music was still good, but yet something has changed. But talking about separating the art from the artist and supporting an artist, I want to discuss the different levels because, I think it's not black and white. Actually, graphic design is my passion, and I did a little visualization of this, and yes, I did it in PowerPoint. So I will have that on the screen from time to time. So on one side, you might have people who just stop listening to the music entirely, burn all of their merch and throw away vinyls and everything they have, and, just forget about the artist forever. The other extreme would be, people who just support the artist no matter what, who say, well, I don't care about this. The artist is the best, and these people are liars, these people are stupid, whatever, and I will continue to support them. Or also people who say, I don't care. I like this artist. I just don't care at all, What I want to talk about are the options, let's say, between those extremes, because I believe that this is a spectrum and there are different stances that you can take. So let's say you don't want to support the artist, so you think like, okay, this is something that I find really bad, that I don't want to support morally, this is not what I stand for, but you like the music. Like I said, there are some really important songs, really important albums that helped you through difficult times, and you're just not ready to let go of them. My opinion is like, okay, so just listen to them, right? Even if you stream them, I would argue that streaming pays so little that if you stream a song from time to time, I wouldn't count that as monetary support towards this artist. And if you already, bought a tape or vinyl or have it on your MP3 player or whatever, you're not even paying money again. So if you just listen to these songs that are so important to you or that you just like so much from time to time is whatever, I would say. But I think there is more than, just giving the artist money and, just monetary support. So, for example, if you post about an artist, if you recommend them on your social media or, just to friends in real life, then you don't really pay money, but you recommend them. That's free promo that may potentially result in, new money for the artist because you might recommend it. And then people buy their music, their merch, go to their shows. So I would argue that this is much more support than, just listening to some of their music in private. Another example for free promo, especially for rock and metal bands, is wearing an artist's shirt. With the shirt, you have their logo, or depending on the design, like even the face of the artists. And you walk around with this shirt at shows, at festivals, and everybody can see that. And everybody can see that you support this artist. And I actually have an example for this. So I was really astounded when we went to Summer Breeze Open Air last year. That is one of the biggest metal festivals in Germany, and it was actually the first festival that I attended when I turned 18. Yeah, last summer there was this Rammstein scandal with all of these sexual assault allegations to the band, especially to Lindemann, the singer. And it has been in the media for weeks. Like, it was all over the news. It was a big deal. And when we went to the festival, I was so surprised to see almost every other person wearing a Rammstein shirt. One might argue that maybe they didn't know about it, but at this point it was in the news so much, they must have known. I saw all of these people with these shirts, and the message that this sent to me was that these people openly support the band, that they want to express their support for the band by wearing their shirt, even in, difficult times, or they just did not care at all. And, some people might argue that, maybe they just had this shirt. Rammstein is a really big and popular band, and many people have their shirts. I had them too. And they just wore what they already had. Yes, that might be, but even then, even if this is not additional monetary support, if you wear a shirt that you already had, I would argue that, it's really free promo and you're really sending signals to other people. In this case, it just sent the message to me that most of the people there did not care about this, that they did not think it's serious. That is not my opinion. So I really thought, okay, wow, these are people that I would probably not get along with. Doesn't matter because I'm not there to meet people at the festival. But that's okay. But what I want to touch on is that this can have much more effect than many people actually think. Many people think, and I mean, this can be relieving, or I would argue also a bit depressing, that their personal actions don't really have any impact. But I would argue walking around a festival with a shirt of a band is free promo. People see you all the time. They are maybe more inclined to check out a band because they think, well, this band seems to be really popular and maybe I should check them out. And they might then like the music and then go to shows, go to festivals and give them more money and fame. And therefore, I would argue like just wearing a band's shirt is definitely a form of support. And, back to the question, who benefits from it? And I would say it's the artists and, in many cases, the perpetrators of violence, the people who did something wrong. Because sure, you get to keep your beloved music and don't have to think about if an artist did anything wrong. But if we separate the art from the artists, I feel like the artists, benefit much more from it because they can just continue to do what they've been doing all the time. I mean, think about it this way, like if nothing bad happens to them, if they don't lose fans, if they don't lose money, why should they change their behavior? Because if they did something wrong and we keep rewarding them with more fans, more money, more fame, then we do not send the signal that, hey, we think you did something wrong. The signal that we're sending is, yeah, that was cool. Keep doing that. And that's bad, I would say. And therefore, in my opinion, this makes it much less of a personal decision. Because, yeah, it might be relieving to think that, your actions don't really have an impact anyway. But I think that's a bit depressing because I would argue if, for example, with an artist who did something wrong, if we collectively decide to no longer support the artist, if we say, hey, I won't go to your show anymore, I will stop wearing your merch, and I will stop posting about you on social media, this has an immense effect on the artist. And of course, all the people, like nobody will have the same opinion always, but if there is something that is considered really bad behavior by an artist, I'm pretty sure, and I mean, this is also evident in online discussions, that there are many people who share the same opinion that some behavior was wrong. And I think it's sometimes really easy to say, like, if I do this, this has no impact, but it's wrong. Like, if we work together, we can have a big impact. And this is also important for other issues like social issues, climate change. So if you feel like, okay, I don't want to support someone anymore, then don't support them anymore because it does have an impact. And although I would consider myself a rather pessimistic person, I still do think that change is possible. Back to my personal example. So what did I do as a former diehard Marilyn Manson fan who couldn't have imagined not listening to their music anymore at some point? Well, in regards to merch, I got rid of the, really old, bad quality t-shirts, so they went to the trash. And another shirt that was actually good quality, I still wear to this day for leisuring at home. So this is one of my shirts that I exclusively wear when I'm just, chilling at home, just relaxing, where nobody really sees me. And some other shirts of bands I no longer support, I wear to sleep. And, I think this is a good solution because I don't waste the resources that went into creating those garments. But, I'm not going out and letting everybody know that, hey, I'm a Marilyn Manson fan and maybe you should be too. And about the music, I do have to say that it was, of course, harder to stop listening to the music than it was to get rid of some trash t-shirts. And in the beginning, what I did was, just listening to some songs that were really important to me. And, with time, I just started to listen to them less and less. And like I already said, I don't think that the music is suddenly bad. I think it's good music. But If I listen to Manson songs nowadays, I can't separate it from the artist. So the disdain of the artist really outweighs my pleasure of listening to the music, so to speak. So maybe you're different, but I cannot separate the art from the artist. I don't enjoy the music anymore. And you know what? That's fine. There is so much other music I can listen to. And it's not the end of the world for me that I cannot listen to a couple of albums anymore. I think it's much worse for the victims of the artist, what they went through, than for me to not be able to enjoy some songs anymore. So if you are in a similar situation, just give yourself time. Maybe it will be the same for you, or maybe it will be different. But yeah, I actually thought about it, and I think, losing an artist is a little bit like heartbreak. So in the beginning, it's really hard, and yeah, you think like, oh, how can I live without this music? But at some point, you're just over it, and that's it. A little bit cheesy. And to be even cornier, so time doesn't heal all of the wounds, but scars are still better than open wounds. I am 14 and this is deep. This is how I was when I listened to Marilyn Manson every day. It left an impact. Anyway, let me know if you experienced something similar, and put it in the comments which artist it was for you, and subscribe. You know what time it is.
Hello, it's Chico. Oh, he loves classic rock because he's a little dead.
Bye.